if B is obtained from A by replacing jth row by alpha Ri plus Rj, slowly I am heading towards that elementary row operations. Remember, one of the elementary row operation was multiplying by a scalar non-zero, that we already taken care by the definite property, alpha lambda comes out, right. And this, if you are taking a ith row multiplying by alpha and adding to jth one, then what happens to determinant? I am trying to look for that, and it says then the determinant does not change, determinant remains the same. Why? What will happen? Because in this row, right, this is only this row is right change jth one. So, in the right hand side when you apply linearity, what will happen? One matrix will be R1, R2 and jth place and jth place, same row will be repeated, right. This is ith one. So, this will be right ith and ith will be coming, and here I and j will be coming, that will be A itself. Are you getting? This is the jth place, this is the jth entry for the new matrix, this is the jth row for the new matrix. So, what will be the ith row if I take only the first one for linearity? It will be alpha Ri, Ri is already there, this is jth place. So, alpha comes out, so ith and the jth row in the new matrix will be identical. So, this part is not going to contribute in the determinant, but the second part it is A itself, I and j. So, that does not change, right. So, determinant of the new matrix will be same as determinant of the original matrix, right. So, let us write that. So, it is just saying that the new matrix is alpha times d of p plus d of a. What is p? P is the matrix where ith and jth rows are same, equal to Ri, right. Ith and j are Ri. So, that will be equal to 0, right, and the dB equal to d of a, other one is just a. Again linearity, just expanding those rows, right, using linearity and writing in the new form. It's clear? See, let us say A is equal to R1, R2 and Rm, right. Now, what is B? I have interchanged ith, I have replaced, so R1 up to Ri it is same. In Rj what has happened? This Rj is equal to alpha Ri plus Rj. So, this I should not write equal, this has gone to this row, right, and remaining is Rn. This is a new matrix B. So, what will be determinant of B? R1 Ri, and this will give you alpha Ri Rm. So, this will be alpha times determinant of R1 Ri and again Ri at the jth place and Rm plus R1 Ri Rj and Rm. So, that is determinant of A. Is that okay? By linearity, right. R1 Ri alpha Ri, alpha comes out Ri Ri, ith and jth place, other is just A. So, this is equal to, this is 0, so it is equal to determinant of A, that is all, nothing more than that, right. Again using linearity property and the property, if two rows are identical then it becomes equal to 0. Next we want to compute the determinant for the elementary matrices. So, what is the first elementary matrix? That was interchanging I with j, right, ith row with the jth one, take identity matrix, in that interchange ith with the jth, that is same as, right, interchanging ith with the jth. So, what is determinant of that? Minus 1. Just now we showed that in any matrix, if we interchange ith and jth row, then it gives a negative sign, right. So, in particular for elementary also. Second one was I plus j. If you take jth row and add it to ith row, what you should get? Just now we saw if alpha Ri plus j, right, it is the same as the original one. Here what is alpha? 1, it is I plus j. So, 1 times I plus j, that is put in the jth place. So, that is same as determinant of the matrix E I, and what is that? That is 1. What about alpha times I? That is linearity. When you multiply a particular component by alpha rho, alpha comes out, linearity property. So, that is alpha times. So, determinant of the elementary matrix, which is multiplication of ith row by alpha, is just alpha. So, these are the 3 elementary matrices, and its determinants we have computed. First one, interchange I with j, that gives you a negative sign, right. So, that elementary matrix determinant is -1. You take the elementary matrix with ith row added to the jth row, determinant remains 1. Determinant original was 1, it remains 1, it does not change. And third one, multiplying a particular row by alpha by linearity, that is equal to alpha times the original one, that is equal to 1, right. Is it okay? Is it clear? Alpha times that is 1, that is alpha. Identity matrix, what is the determinant of identity matrix? Is 1, that is the definition, normalizing factor. Third defining property, first one was if 2 rows are identical, that is 0, second was linearity, third was normalization, determinant of identity is 1, right. So, because of that, this is alpha. Okay. Now, let us apply this to matrices. Take a matrix A and multiply by an elementary matrix, you will get a new matrix, right. So, if this A is interchange, what you get here? That will be negative of determinant of A, -1, but the -1 is determinant of E, right. So, I can write that property as determinant of E times A is same as determinant of E times determinant of A, when E is interchange of 2 rows. Same with the other two, I plus j, that is same as 1. So, that is same as I plus j, and the third one same, right. You can easily see that these 3 properties. So, what I am doing is I am interpreting these 3 property in terms of products now. So, it says determinant of an elementary matrix, any of the 3 types, multiplied by a matrix A, right. So, this above equation can be written as determinant of E times determinant of A. Is it clear to everybody? Yes, because here determinant of interchange was -1. So, this will, what will this give you? Interchange, right, that is. So, basically now you can see that I am heading towards trying to prove a property that determinant of A times B is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. This is the first step towards that. So, what you are saying is determinant of a matrix multiplied by pre-multiplied by a elementary matrix is same as the product of the determinants, right, and that follows from this simple identity. Okay. So, let us go a step further. That is same as written again, E A is equal to minus D A. So, that is written again. That, so, we can write that as a theorem. Okay. Okay. Now, let us come to consequences of supposing a matrix A is changed by row operations to A tilde, that is a reduced row equivalent form of A. Then what it will look like? Some elementary matrices multiplied by A, right, that we have seen. So, what will be determinant of A tilde? That is determinant of the right hand side. So, I can write it as E k multiplied by the remaining one, right. Inductively I am going to apply the previous theorem now. So, it will be determinant of E k multiplied by determinant of E k minus 1 into up to A, again apply the same property. So, what will be determinant of A tilde? Determinant of E k, determinant multiplied by determinant of E k minus 1 into determinant of A, right. Is that okay? So, from here what is the determinant of A then? I can divide it by those constants, right, equation. So, determinant of A will be 1 over determinant of E k multiplied by determinant of E k minus 1 multiplied by determinant of E k, provided none of them is 0. So, do we know that determinant of each E k is not 0? Yes, just now we computed, right, either it is 1 or it is minus 1 or it is alpha, where alpha is a non-zero, right. Just now we checked for elementary matrix determinant is either minus 1 or 1 or alpha, where alpha is non-zero. So, determinants of elementary matrices are non-zero. So, using this we will get determinant of A is equal to 1 over determinant of. Now, here on the right hand side is this numerator is determinant of A tilde in that equation. What is determinant of A tilde in the reduced row echelon form? What is determinant of A tilde? That depends on whether the matrix is, what is the form of that A tilde, either it will be identity, it is a square matrix. So, one possibility, the reduced row echelon form of a matrix A will be identity, in which case its determinant is 1, or there will be a row at the bottom which is 0. If that is the case, what is the determinant? That is 0. So, we get 0, right. So, two possibilities arise. If A is not invertible, then it is 0, right, and if it is invertible, this is 1, this is 1 over of this, clear. That is just from the form of reduced row echelon form. It is a product of elementary matrices into A. Take determinant both sides, right, and use the property that determinant of a elementary matrix multiplied to a matrix is equal to determinant of the elementary matrix multiplied by the determinant of the matrix. The product property is true for when one of the product is is elementary matrix. So, using that we get this, right. If A is invertible, then determinant of A is 1 over determinants of this. Now, keep in mind, if these elementary row operations involve only interchange of rows, say, and there are r of them to bring it to, then how many times minus 1 will be coming? Each interchange will give you a minus sign. If there are r times interchange is required, then it will give you minus 1 to the power r, and that precisely says if to obtain new row echelon form, number of row interchanges required is r, right. That means the determinant should be minus 1 to the power r times determinant of the original one, because each one is going to give you, right, from here, right. So, these are useful in computing. So, we will see how they are useful in computing. Is the proof of this clear? It is just saying first step, reduced row echelon form is a product of elementary matrices into the matrix A. Apply determinant on both sides, use the product property and write down. Okay. So, what is determinant of E inverse for elementary matrix? Now, to computing the inverses, we are coming to determinant of the inverse now. There are two ways of looking at it. There are two ways. One, you can compute what is E inverse. If I and J were interchanged, then they were again interchanged, right, to get the inverse, to get back the identity matrix. So, twice, right. Or you can look at E times E inverse is identity, right. See, here is another easy way of looking at it. Let us look at that, is better probably. So, E inverse multiplied by E is identity, right, for any matrix anyway. A multiplied by A inverse is identity. So, what is determinant of E inverse E? So, that is determinant of identity, and that is 1. Now, here is a elementary matrix multiplied. So, what is this equal to? So, determinant of E inverse, determinant of E, is that okay? For elementary matrices, we already know the product property. So, that is equal to 1. So, what is determinant of E inverse? That is 1 over determinant of E, right. Same proof later will work when any matrix A is invertible, but at present we do not know that relation, right, that for any two matrices determinant of A B is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. We do not know that yet. We only know for elementary matrices this property is true. So, we are using that, right. So, that shows you slowly how rigorously we are building up our concepts, our known theorems from simple three properties only. Okay. So, now we come to the fact that determinant of A B is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. Right. The proof is quite simple. See, there are two possibilities. One, either A is not invertible, right, A into B, right, they are square matrices. Possibly either A is not invertible or B is not invertible. If that is the case, then the product cannot be invertible. So, a simple fact, so leaving it as an exercise for you to check, that if in either A or B is not invertible, then the product cannot be invertible, right. So, check that. So, in that case what will happen? If A B is not invertible, what is the determinant? Just now we checked. If A is invertible, if and only if the reduced row echelon form is identity and determinant is equal to 1 or 0. If invertible, right, reduced row echelon form determinant will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. So, if A B is not invertible, its determinant is equal to 0, and now at least either A or not B is not invertible. So, one of the term on the right hand side is 0. So, that is also equal to 0, right. So, that shows that determinant of A B is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B, when at least one of them is not invertible. So, what is the second case? Both are invertible. If both are invertible, then we know A B also is invertible, simple algebraic fact, but let us check it anyway. So, let us check. In case both A and B are invertible, A B and B A both are invertible anyway, right. Is that okay? We saw A B inverse is nothing but B inverse multiplied by A inverse, you can check that. Is it okay? If A and B both are invertible, then the product A B is invertible. What is its inverse? B inverse multiplied by A inverse, right. So, that is okay. So, let us write, if A is invertible, so its reduced row echelon form must be identity. So, there will be some matrices, elementary matrice E1, E2, right, Ek. So, their product with A is equal to identity. So, what will be A equal to? I can take on the other side as inverses. So, A is equal to E1 inverse multiplied by Ek inverse, right. Similarly, what is B? B is again invertible. So, its reduced row echelon form is identity. So, I should be able to pre-multiply it by elementary matrices, so that it becomes identity, reduced row echelon form is identity. That means, B is equal to this. So, I know what is A, what is B. So, what is A into B? This is A, this is B, I multiply them both, right. So, if I multiply, what I get? So, A B is equal to, right, this is A, E1 inverse up to Ek inverse, F1 inverse, Fr inverse, that is B. Now, all of them are invertible matrices, right. So, that is invertible, okay. So, now let us apply what is determinant of the product now, compute determinant of both sides now. Determinant of A B will be equal to determinant of right hand side, but right hand side is a product of elementary matrices, all are elementary matrices. Remember, we had remarked earlier, if E is elementary, its inverse is also a elementary matrix, right. So, these are all elementary. So, determinant of A B is determinant of the right hand side, but here the product property know for elementary matrices. So, what is determinant of the right hand side? It is a product of determinant of E1 inverse, product determinant E2 inverse, and so on, right. is okay, clear to everybody? Yes. Now, these first ones, right, let us, so what is determinant of E1 inverse? That is 1 over determinant of E1, right. So, use that formula to get that this first product of the first k is 1 over determinant of E1 E2 Ek inverse, right, and similarly the other one. Okay. And what is determinant of E1 into determinant of E2 into determinant of Ek? The product of E1 E2 Ek was A, right. So, this is precisely the first term here, right, inverse is precisely determinant of A, second is precisely equal to determinant of. See what was A, you remember? Okay, let me just go back. What was A equal to? Equal to this. So, what is the determinant of A? That is the determinant of the right hand side, right. So, product you can write 1 over that thing. So, that is what we have done. So, that this thing, or you can write directly from here, that is equal to determinant of A, and the next thing is determinant of B. So, again so slowly what we have done is we have looked at what is going to be saying that A is invertible. That means you can pre-multiply by elementary matrices and write it equal to identity. So, that is one fact used, and second, for elementary matrices determinant has a product property. Determinant of product of elementary is product of the determinants of those elementary components. Those two properties are used just to reduce that determinant of the product A B is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B, right. So, slowly one by one we have used these facts. Okay. So, we have the, now I can write down determinant of if is invertible. So, what is B? B is A inverse. So, I can apply that trick again, A into A inverse is identity. So, what is determinant of A inverse? 1 over determinant of A. I can use this now to deduce that, right. Earlier we did it for elementary matrix. So, I can write now equivalent ways of describing invertibility. First one was A is invertible. Now, we showed it is equivalent to full rank, right. The full rank means what? The reduced row echelon form is identity matrix, that is equivalent of that. And then now just we have shown is its determinant is not equal to 0, right. We proved A is invertible if and only if determinant is a product of elementary matrices and is not equal to 0, and its determinant of A inverse, there is a bracket missing here, is 1 over determinant of A, because of A into A inverse is identity. The product property I can use now, determinant of A into determinant of A inverse is 1. So, determinant of A inverse is 1 over that thing, because I have already now proved the product property for determinants of products of arbitrary matrices. Okay. So, that is invertibility.